We're gonna ease back into this. We're gonna ease back into this. We've been through a lot for a long time now. This is the exciting part of it. This is what makes it historical. This is what gives you the stories to tell the young'uns around you. When you're just sitting there and they're going, Jesus, it's a good thing weed is legal and Grandpa's got a fucking pot plant growing in his nursing home, because everybody knows that a person in a nursing home with a plant has a better quality of life, because they feel like they've got something to take care of, something to fucking grow. And you know, your grandma, grandpa, that old person that you're visiting on some sort of fucking community service with old people, they've got a thing where they take marijuana medicinally. So not only are they supporting a life, but they're providing for themselves. That cuts down on health care. I don't know how much they get up to smoking a week, but if you're laying around in bed all day watching fucking Looney Tunes, you could go through a lot, I'm sure. But so you go visit this old person and they've got their shit hanging over there, whatever. They take buds and keep it fucking dry it out and fucking, I'm thinking about in China when they just grew. And, oh, wait, I'll take that.
That was something you wanted.
Look, she keeps bringing me things. The tyranny of science. Oh, leads right into what I was going to talk about. But, so, yeah. So it'll give you stories to tell when that youngin' is fucking smoking your weed and you're passing the bong and watching Looney Tunes and the fucking electrical goes out because AI is taking over, and you're like, well, I guess it's just us. And then you get to tell these fucking stories. We've gone long enough to have stories about this shit. Get the fuck out of the road. Back off 6 feet. Clink, clink, clink. The can return. The only thing keeping me from getting punched in the face was I wasn't just like that, like I normally would be. Going, yeah, I think you believe what you want to believe, but nobody else wants to hear your fucking bullshit. If I'd have been that close, but instead 6 feet back up, and the guy's standing there going, can I get him from this far away? Because he looks like he sees me coming. You know, that type of thing. You got all these stories. And so here we are. We're all fucking gone mad. Not really. Some of us find it highly entertaining, which in its own sense could be considered a state of madness. But this could happen to us? Of course it could. Of course it could. And so, like Korsakoff's psychosis, Korsakoff's disorder, Korsakoff's whatever you have it called, a dilemma, whether you want to keep drinking or not, if you want to be smart, that type of thing. The more I drink, the more I was remembering what I was going to tell you. So you got all this madness that starts really so far. as close as come coalescing in our time was at that January 6th thing. And I was watching one of these pop-up things that pops up and it says, you know, they started to call one of these people an insurrectionist, the reporter, and kind of said insert, and I immediately in my head I heard insertion. I'm not so much an insurrectionist, though they do bear responsibility for their actions when they go out in public. Everybody does, right? An insertion. They still bear responsibility whether you're going to call them an insurrectionist or an insertion. However, if you call them an insertion, it does show that they were put in there to do something. They were inserted into this situation. That's probably somebody that was inserted from the start. The other insertions happened out on the grounds, walking around like Walking Dead, you know, fucking play the music, I'll walk over here, you know, brains. Which would make other people more liable for the problems that occurred. An insertion wouldn't have been in there without somebody fucking really running it into their heads. People that weren't going to go there themselves because they've got too much to lose. It's amazing how you can convince somebody with nothing to lose to go do your bidding. I think you'd have something to offer. But they believe that shit. And here we are as time goes by. We're going to ease back into it. There are going to be hard-nosed people all over the place, you know. We've always been surrounded by hard-nosed people. And these hard-nosed people are generally assholes. Yeah. Okay. I'm innately aware of how being a hard-nosed can turn you into an asshole, and the perception that others have of you is asshole. I know how it goes. Some of them us. Just can't let it go. It's something from the start. It's been pushed around long enough. Nobody's gonna tell me what to fucking do. And some of them been pushed around long enough by the time they were 3 years old that you're gonna stop them from saying nobody's gonna tell me what to do. And those are the people, once they start, if they don't, they are the people, as Thomas Kuhn speaks about, Kuhn. I've never heard it said out loud. I just read this stuff, you know. I should probably look it up. Kuhn. Thomas Kuhn speaks about paradigm shifts, and he speaks about science. He speaks about, you know, when you get someone like Einstein, you've got everybody that's doing this stuff, they're at their science, they're all on the same level of science, and somebody goes, whoop, and they go, it's not the way it works. Like Phlogiston, they used to believe there was some kind of thing in the ether that caused fire. Phlogiston. And then when somebody said, well, it's oxygen, it's the stuff we breathe. When they discovered oxygen, nobody wanted to fucking believe it. They fought it. That's the way things go always with a paradigm shift. You know, a paradigm, it's the box that we talk about. When we say think outside the box, most people are thinking in here, which I can understand them not wanting to let somebody run around fucking blowing shit up like Einstein, because they're like, I don't know, I understand half of what he's saying. At least they understand each other, so they gang up. And so that's what these hard-nosed people are doing. And there's the people that are fighting the paradigm shift, this place we're in right now, the person that's trying to take them outside of it and say, look at that fucking box. We could take every fucking angle on it. Why don't they call it a cube? I mean, don't we live in 3D? Oh, cubital. I do, we're in 4D, aren't we? Quattro, cinco, quattro. Oh, that's an Audi car. And they fight the evolution of a thought. Saw Elon Musk today, and one of these things that pops up talking about how we have to stop AI. So at some point you have to get rid of your recklessness. You have to pay attention. So you've got both sides of it. And so these hard-nosed people that just won't let it go, you'll see them around here and there, but they're going to get less and less and less, and we're going to ease back into it. It's a strange thing to have a paradigm shift, which is actually going back to something else. But the thing is, you might think that. However, it's not going to be that. There's no way we can go back to what it was. The veil's been lifted. Too many of us have seen all the bullshit that goes on, both sides all over, how it's all fucking held together and how nobody will fucking cover their ass when it's time. You know, they're like, oh, ooh, a hot potato. There it is. Throwing potatoes everywhere. And so I was just getting ready to talk about science, you know. These are science haters, is what I was thinking about. That's where I was getting. They don't even understand science in a social fucking aspect, in a social attitude. And then Victoria just handed me, you saw it. Do you think we plan any of this stuff? I should cut that out so you do. She opened the door and she's standing there and she said, oh, she saw I was talking to you. And she's like, and I'm like, oh, I saw what she had. She had the trumpet. The tyranny of science. I was just getting ready to talk about the paradigm shifts and Kuhn and fucking, what do you call it? The social psychology and, you know, oh God, that feels good. If you've never shaved your head before, do it. Oh, that growing in. I feel like a little kid again. I feel like I'm in the womb. My mother drank a lot, so all that alcohol in the system made it like a desert in the womb. I was there in uterus. I was like, I finally understand now, just now that I say this, why it is that I love the desert so much. It may have been fond memories, but geez, to be able to sit there and look at the sky and see the sides of the fucking planet on the horizon all around you, and it doesn't seem that far away. You feel like you're really on a fucking rock shooting through the universe. And according to science, we are. But I told you how to figure out and deal with flat earth policy, whatever they call it, because I found a way for it to work. If you want to use it, it's on one of those. You're gonna have to look back a ways. Look, they got a picture of that guy. The tyranny of science, falsely so called. Some people advance through the educational, medical, political, or other systems of our societies and become what we consider elite, wise, high-minded. Yet this does not immunize them from being wrong. Oh, I despise doctors after what they did to my mother. After, these last 2-3 times of fucking, cutting toes off my dad and giving him MRSA and not even bothering to sedate him, come in with a pair of fucking garden snips, take off at the bone. And no wonder we fucking hate you. No wonder we hate you. The great thing is knowing that all that was good for was the headline.